Not where Mohammed not go see forget to my lovely people. Yeah? But I see these people when be say they not get shame, all these APC people. When be say they go no say they wrong, they go say they cover for themselves. See as they challenge you get, they tell and say no. Come and answer question. Did you have dual nationality? Not let her answer. Are you, Mr. Tinubu, are you from Guinea? That is the question. If they talk about sewing in to do work, which work you want work? Where be say you never come answer a question. A medical question never answer now. The next thing that to sew in now because of that one. Now I make her. No, we not go answer question. Now go here and go to. May not listen to social media people. Who you want to listen to? All you want to listen, you must listen to us. Because now we be the social media family. Yes. You must listen to us. Tinubu, you must listen. You get vibes. Now make una dey do anyhow. Say na get money. Nobody will fit talk to now. Una go yell water. My lovely people, when I watch this video, when I see what he share.
There's nothing to worry about that. Let him go to court if he has issues, if he has worries. If he believes that Asiwaju has a Guinean passport and he has dual citizenship, let him approach the court. Let him not make the social media his court.
Well, I'm sure that he will, but I think that Asiwaju, is going to be president. He is president.
He's president-elect. He's going to be sworn in.
Exactly.
And so everybody's happy about that. I don't know about you.
That is part of his responsibility to respond to Nigerians.
We will respond at the appropriate time. I don't consider it appropriate now.
You don't consider it appropriate? No, is it that you have not had any discussion about
Even
that?
if I've had and I don't consider it appropriate, there's no amount of questioning you can give me that will make me consider it appropriate. If I say it, if we don't consider it appropriate to respond. So the reason is very simple.
My people, this one strong pass me. Not just say when I share this video because another drama don't happen. No, this one na Tinubu defender. This man name na Biodun Ajeboye. Anytime when this man enter studio, he go carry paper and pen. They write things for studio because he head no they carry things. Now this man when they chat go to court now. They ask him about Tinubu's dual citizenship. They ask him about Tinubu's Guinea passport. The man won't cry as they ask him about this Tinubu Guinea passport. He can't they chat go to court. These people where they chat go to court. He gets something where they give them mind, where they give them confidence about this court. Anyway, with their court already, they're gonna listen. This man also went ahead to defend Buhari's regime. And when I know say there is no way you go to defend APC, you no go look stupid. Yes. As they defend Tinubu and Buhari in the studio, people they look at me, waiting this man they talk. Yeah? In fact, I don't want to talk much. Make una share this video. Share them. And as soon as listen to the full drama on studio from beginning to the end and see how it takes start and see how it takes end. Oh.
Now being joined by Biodun Ajeboye, one of the president's most trusted allies and assistant director of media publicity for the All Progressives Congress Presidential Council during the last elections. Many thanks for joining us, Mr. Ajeboye, and thank you,
very much
for coming on the morning show.
Thank you. Morning.
All right, let's talk about the Asiwaju government. It's exactly 35 days to Inauguration Day, and I believe this day is reporting that he's coming back into the country tomorrow after a month stay in France. And you know that, since he's been gone, there's been a lot of stories, and the top on the list is a report by an investigative journalist, David Hundeyin, who claimed that Asiwaju committed perjury by saying that he does not have dual citizenship, and he's alleging that Asiwaju is Guinean. He has a Guinean passport, and since that report, we have not heard from your camp. Would like for you some clarity on that, if you can.
You take Hundeyin seriously?
It's a report. I mean, it's a report out there.
There's nothing to worry about that. Let him go to court if he has issues, if he has worries. If he believes that Asiwaju has a Guinean passport and he has dual citizenship, let him approach the court. Let him not make the social media his court.
Well, I'm sure that he will, but I think that Asiwaju, is going to be president. He is president.
He's president-elect. He's going to be sworn in.
Exactly.
And so everybody's happy about that. I don't know about you.
That is part of his responsibility to respond to Nigerians.
We will respond at the appropriate time. I don't consider it appropriate now.
You don't consider it appropriate?
No,
is it that you have not had any discussion about
Even
that?
if I've had and I don't consider it appropriate, there's no amount of questioning you can give me that will make me consider it appropriate. If I say it, if we don't consider it appropriate to respond. So the reason is very simple. We are getting into government. Serious business. We know where Nigerians are coming from, where Nigeria is coming from. It's serious business. We can't be dissipating energy on trivialities like one young boy found the person one passport. If it is so fundamental, let the court decide on it. Let's not belabor the issue. That's my opinion.
Perjury is a serious issue.
And but court is the appropriate place to argue perjury now, not here now.
Yeah.
We can only discuss it here. And no matter what we discuss here, the court has the authority to rule on it.
Yes, sir. Remove David Odeyin from the equation.
Okay.
Does Asiwaju have dual nationality?
I do not know. But even if it does, is it against the law of Nigeria? And even if it is, then let whoever is aggrieved or concerned or whoever has a local standard to go to court and challenge it. And let's listen to what the court will say. That's my opinion.
So even as like Oji said, he's making his way back, obviously getting ready to be sworn in on the 29th of
We will be sworn in.
As the yes, of course, as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yes.
We've spoken about, Buhari's legacy.
Yes.
Now, going into this new administration and this handover we're about to witness, how should the President-elect Tinubu start off this administration? What should be his focus, and let's say for the first 100 days, and even as it progresses to the remaining part of his tenure?
In my opinion, and judging from what I gather, Asiwaju's major policy starting his government will be how to bring succor to the Nigerian people, the welfareist approach. The common man on the street should know some peace, economically, socially. That is the trust, that's our policy trust coming into power. Because at the end of the day, what the Nigerian man had gone through in the last 14 years, somebody needs to assuage them of this hardship. That's what Asiwaju is coming to do.
Well, you speak about him trying to, take hardship away, but it's when we're looking at this situation of subsidy removal, the fact that he has been, it's one of the things that he ran his campaign on, and he has insisted that he is going to do. Now, if that in itself goes into action, we're seeing economic hardship rising as opposed to going down, and that $800 million palliative that has been said would be used to compensate and relieve 50 million homes in Nigeria won't be enough. So as well, we're looking at two sides of a coin here. One, pulling Nigerians back into economic hardship, and you saying that he's going to be doing the latter. How does that balance out? Now,
when you have a doctor and you have an illness, it is left to the doctor to use the appropriate strategy to solve the problem of your ailment. Asiwaju is an economic manager. Don't forget, Asiwaju met Lagos IGR at 600 billion. He left it at about 14 billion. That is the man with the magic wand. So when we get to power, we'll come back here. I will come back here to discuss the practicality of his intention or of his action.
You could give us some insight.
Well, the insight I'm going to give you is going to be based on the fact that I have already said that his action will be basically to address the issue of the common man. How do we bring succor to the common man? We recognize that the common man on the street has issues, a lot of issues. It's the first 100 days of his policy will be how to ensure that the economic hardship being experienced by Nigerians become reduced considerably. Talking about subsidy, why I went the route I went with you was that, okay, I won't begin to say this is what he's going to do, this is what he's not going to do. What I know is that if we have $800 million and you are already telling me that $800 million for 50 million people will not be enough, will not be this, will not be that, that is not the way the economic managers will think. They will put plans together, they would magnify the $800 million in many other ways. An economic manager knows how to use the $800 million to get $1 trillion or to get $1 billion. How? So these are the nitty-gritty that I can't be discussing here. Yeah. But it is left for them. Once you see, the difference between Asiwaju and other people is the fact that he knows how to get the right person to do the right job.
Okay, so we have to run, but before we do that, just a very quick one. A lot of people expect that one of the low-hanging fruits of the Asiwaju presidency will be the caliber of his team. And of course, the chief of staff will be an integral, important component of that team. We're hearing of different names. Are there indications or indicators to look out for? Will Suru be Lere, as far as the choice of the chief of staff, is concerned?
Well, you see, it will not be proper for me, having worked with him or as one of his aides, like you said, to preempt what he's going to do and who he's going to appoint. And I wouldn't want us to start discussing the rumor making the rounds. But I do know that there are a few people that have been laid, put on. He will make a good choice of chief of staff. A chief of staff that will have the capacity, capability experience and knowledge to address the issues as it concerns managing Nigeria. There are a lot of plans in that respect, but you see, I don't want us to start putting him under pressure with respect to who he should choose and who he should not. No, it's not going to be right for me to
That's
do.
fine.
I've done that. I did that a couple of days a couple of weeks ago when they asked me, there was a front page mention of Femi Gbagbabiamila.
Yes.
And I said, well, if that report was correct, Femi is a fantastic choice. If that report was correct.
Well, all right. On that